bring this down to earth, this is my little version here. And I've got a couple of slides, but they're my versions. Okay. So it was out of curiosity that I had what we call a QEEG brain map, which, in today's terms is very modern. All dry, no squirty stuff going in your hair and everything. It's quite easy. And I was about 60 at the time, and I didn't really have any known health issues, no aches and pains, aches and discomfort, or any of these types of things going on. And neither did I have to consume any medication. So I thought I was doing okay. But a traumatic brain injury from 25 years earlier was still affecting me. I had 2 out of 3 neurological markers showing in the map, and I was on the path to decline. And I'll show you these maps and just tell you what it means in a moment. I was actually at serious risk of losing my cognitive abilities. So when Dr. Mark revealed the map to me, I don't think there's anyone on here that I've seen that was at that place in Oxford where I had that done. But I was really quite jolly because I felt quite all right about the results. But when my brain map came back, it was a different story. And he could see that I'd had a traumatic brain injury 25 years. We didn't know it was 25 years earlier, but I did. And it threw me. And things like, he said, in terms of speed of the brain, your brain is actually very slow. And I thought it meant I spoke really slow and things like that. So it was quite worrying. He said, for example, it's like you've had someone ask you a very simple question. You've gone in the room behind you and you're looking for the answer in the filing cabinet, as Dr. Mark does, be able to put things into nice, easily understandable ways of trying to explain what something's like. So I just got told by Dr. Mark, or encouraged by Dr. Mark, to consume these molecules. So I went back to David, and David helped me get hold of some of these molecules. I looked at the bottles for a bit of time, as you do, and then I started to consume them. And David, being, a good upline, followed up with me a few days in and said, how am I getting on? I said, oh, great. I said, I've been pouring them in my water bottle, and it helps me drink all my water. And he said, no, you don't do that. And I'd missed that bit. So what I've been doing was pouring them into a metal water bottle, right? Stainless steely type thing. So I was.
And would you like to explain why that's not a good thing?
Yeah, because the molecules are so fleeting and so precious that would just, put them off their course, and they're just like a spark. They're just like go out. They wouldn't be able to do what they were meant to do. So I'm going to just see if I can show you how my maps were.
You can't have the redoxing molecules ever touch metal. If you had a metal something in your mouth and you're swishing for 15 seconds, that's not a problem. But after, to pour it in a glass like that, Dr. Mark did the same thing. I was horrified when I found out he was doing that. I was like, no, you can't do that. But then you also mixed it with something. So it's funny because just had a question here earlier, and those were the two things. So yeah, for anyone new, don't mix it with anything.
Can you see my screen?
No.
Oh.
Nothing yet, no.
Okay, so 1 second.
Elena, is it where she can share?
No, it's because I hadn't got the screen up when you opened the doors. I hadn't had time to do that, so I think that's why it is. Just wait a minute. I'll put it up this way. There's only a couple of slides. Can you see that?
No.
No. Okay. There's that. I'll click these buttons. That might help. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't think so, Sherry. It's not coming up. Hang on then, let's put this on. Is that coming up? Yeah?
Yes.
Now we got it.
There we go.
That little bit at the top, we'll go back up. There we go. So I was quite confident when I had this. And I knew that things on maps would be either green or grey. I was looking for green, and this is what I saw. Now, at the time, this box bit is to be ignored now, but it was just another bit of technology. This is how I knew Dr. Mark before I knew him through a seer. But what was so disappointing was I was brain on fire. Look at this, crazy, crazy.
Wow.
So this was something I was living with, I didn't realize. And if I was to say to anybody today of any age that had any reason or thought about, what's going on upstairs, I'd say get one of these done because I had no signals. Now, when I look at it now, what I realized was that I couldn't follow the sat nav very well. So, Andrew, if you're thinking about me driving with a sat nav, it's not just because I'm a woman. I really couldn't follow a sat nav. I couldn't take in the auditory, things that were coming to me, what was being said to me. I couldn't see where to go and drive the car, and it was all too much. That was just my brain. It would not do what it had to do. I realized that I love books, but I never read books because when I read a book, guess what? I got tired. And so the book got put down again. I feel sleepy. And neither did I watch films. And people find that hard when I say, I've never watched films. If you took me in a quiz, don't give me a film question because I wouldn't be able to answer it. So they were the sort of things that were going on in my life. But we fast forward a year or so, and now you can see that things are starting to change. And this was just through some ASEA, consuming ASEA. And I drank up to about 8 ounces every day initially for the first year at least. Sometimes this is one side of the brain, then the other. Here you can see red on the back, blue on the front. This is how we knew I'd had a traumatic brain injury, I believe. And blue is not good, the green is good. So we're getting there, as we move on forward bit by bit. So that was only a couple of months between. Sometimes the progress is massive. Sometimes we have to wait for the brain to do what it's going to do. And then just one other example. If you're looking here, this is a comparison map. Down here, look, we have 32 connections in either side of the brain. And from this map, I had one. You can see it over on the first little brain, look, 2 greens. That's all I had. That's not a lot of action going on there. But following up a little bit later, I'm up to 24 out of 32, and it has got higher than that. So, brain mapping is not the be all and end all, but it does actually give you the opportunity to see where you're going and what you're going to go from there. So when people say, how long do I have to be on something like this? For me personally, it will be my lifetime because I was so close to going down the wrong direction, heading the way that everybody in the world seems to be worried about, and yet I didn't know about it. Do I want to risk that again? No. So I just found that the best way that I could help me and myself and support me as a mum and as a gran and ma was to just help others. And that's what I've continued to do. And from myself, we now have a group of something like 1,700 people that have come from my, journey. And I'm super proud of that. And there'll be many, many more to come. And, all we need to do is share our experience and live our lives, be good to each other and just put out the hand to help. But for Dr. Mark, he saved myself from this. And it was just out of curiosity when David offered some of us to have this brain map done that I actually said yes, because I nearly cancelled it because my niece was coming in as well, but she was moving house on that day and I had swapped venues. I so nearly didn't have it done, and I dread to think where I would be if I had not gone on this journey. So whatever you're dealing with, like Dr. Gary Samuel says, if there's cells involved, then ASEA will help. And you can never have too much ASEA, but you can have too little, and consistency is key. And we're all one big family, and we're here to help each other, families too. So I just encourage you, do what you need to do, but just never drink too little. Always drink a little bit more, and just keep it going for as long as you feel you need to, really. So that's my story, Sherry. There's a lot more incidences to that, but for the time we've got,
there is, but that's great. And for me, working with you, I had to do everything for you in the beginning. I mean, like I had to key people in. I was on every call with her, every Zoom, every phone call, all day.
oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, we would start early in the morning and we would talk all the way through the day so she could share with others. She was so excited about what was happening with her. She wanted to share the good news, as Dr. Mark and we do. But now she leads up, she and Estelle lead up the training. I'm not, I'm on a different one, a different time of the day. So she, I see I keep freezing. I don't know why my picture is freezing. But anyway, such a difference 3 years can make. I'll close out with this. I got a testimonial, a written one. And I'll just read this because for any guests on here, I want you to realize you don't have to have a brain injury to take ASEA. It isn't about the brain, it's about the cell. So this is a great one because it kind of wraps up a lot of what many of us could say. It's not just one experience. Over time, you have many experiences. It says, I had a bad cramp in my leg muscle last night. I started rubbing ASEA Gold, the gel form with the 24 karat gold that takes it down the inflammation gene pathway. And before I had finished rubbing, the pain went away. So it was just instant for giving relief. And she said it was within seconds. And she said she usually has the pain for a long time and has to walk it off. And she said, ASEA Gold is amazing with exclamation points. I've been taking ASEA now for a year. I have had IBS, which is all kinds of bowel issues. I used to have that for several years. It's not fun. You can go from one extreme to the other in the same day with your bowels. And so she said she's had it for many years, had numerous attacks. Since taking ASEA, I've not had one attack. I mean, that's huge for many people. When they have something like that, they can't even leave the house. So I also had a problem with flashing lights in my eyes. So we can't talk about a disease. So I guess she's just talking about, what do you had them, Jack? What do you call them? Floaters, I guess, in the eyes. Oh, no, I know what she's talking about here. I have this frequently. I ask a doctor about it. He said it's a visionary, severe headache. So you can just see like stars. It's horrible. I've been free of this since I've been taking ASEA. How huge is that? That you don't have a problem with such severe headaches. Again, you can't leave the house. So I'm very grateful for the help I have had from ASEA. Those are the kinds of things that we get to hear back, the gratitude of people. And so many on here have had their own stories, and I know they are grateful. So if you're a guest on here, please get back with the person that invited you and get your questions answered. They will help you set up a wholesale account. Everybody can buy retail, but that's kind of simple. They have such specials on wholesale. You can be a customer, or you can be a customer and also share with others, whichever one that you want. But I would just encourage you to do your research to the point that you will want to not only get on ASEA, but do like some of us and make it part of your quality of life that you want, because it's a lot harder to reverse something than it is to prevent. So I want to thank you for coming on. We do this call again in 4 hours. So if you know people in the part of the world where they will be awake in 4 hours, please send that link to them and ask them to tune in tonight. And thank you all for coming on. Dr. Mark will be back live next week, but we're grateful for you coming, and for any of you who do share. If someone hadn't shared with us, Jack would have died 12 years ago, and that's how severe it
can we
was.
just, for once, I'd like to say to Jack, his suffering has enabled me to get well, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more people, Jack. And
Thousands.
I know you're always keeping quietly there in the wings, but we do appreciate you and have a lot of respect for you for all you've been through. And you just always show. I'll never forget that time you had a little minor operation and turned up on the Zoom a few hours later. I mean, you have such strength and capacity. It's amazing. So, just a special thanks to you, because I am here doing what I'm doing because I learned from you all at the beginning. So thank you, Jack.
And let me say to anybody that has any age on you on this call, next month I will be 85. And people go, why do you still work? It's not work, because all of you are miracles because of what happened to me. Yeah. And we love seeing miracles. That's why we call our company Life's Miracles.
Life's Miracles, yeah. Okay.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rosalie. Bye, everybody.
Adios.